Hey guys, and welcome to another Alexelotl video. Today, we are reading some more Reddit stories and adventuring on our Minecraft world here. If you don't remember, I am on the Race to the Moon mod pack. If you are curious about what exact mod pack I'm playing here, maybe you wanted to hop on it, do feel free. And I hope you enjoy these stories while maybe you eat some food or do some work or maybe fall asleep. So with that being said, let's jump right into the first story. This one is called My Neighbor Lied About Having a Wife and Kids, but I started seeing them anyway. Interesting title. I'm curious. I don't know about you guys. I'm curious. Let's get right into it. I live in a small apartment building with only 8 units, so everyone kind of knows everyone. Not best friends, but enough to recognize who belongs there and who does not. About 6 months ago, a man moved into the unit across from mine. I'll call him Paul. He seemed normal at first, quiet, polite, maybe a little awkward. He introduced himself in the hallway and said he had just moved in with his wife and 2 kids. That was the first weird thing, because I never saw a wife or kids. For the first few weeks, I only ever saw Paul. He left for work around 7:30 in the morning, came home around 6, ordered takeout a lot, and spent most evenings inside. No children running around, no wife leaving for errands, no school backpacks, nothing. One day, I casually asked our building manager if Paul's family had moved in yet, because I thought maybe they were joining him later. The manager looked confused and said, "Family?" She said, "He applies as a single tenant." I thought maybe I misunderstood him. Maybe he said he was divorced. Maybe I heard wrong. Already, Paul is a little weird. Maybe he was embarrassed that he was moving in alone, and maybe just chucked that in there. I don't know. Let's see. Then one night, around 11 p.m., I heard a child laughing from his apartment. Not loud, just a quick little laugh. Okay, so maybe Paul wasn't the liar. Maybe we jumped ahead, and Paul is just your ordinary guy. Maybe we jumped the gun here. Paul is your average dude. Let's see. I muted my TV and listened. Then I heard what sounded like a woman saying, "Shh, he'll hear you." My blood went cold because it felt like she meant me. The next morning, I saw Paul in the hallway and said, "Oh, your family's here?" He froze. Then he smiled way too slowly and said, "Yeah, they come and go. That is not how families usually work." Huh. This is strange. Now it's kind of feeling like a horror story now, with the he'll hear you sort of thing. It's kind of feeling like maybe there's a jump scare coming up. I'm feeling some tension now with whatever Paul's doing. That slight little smile. Paul might be a little creepy here. Let's see. Over the next month, things got stranger. I would hear children running inside his apartment, but when I saw him leave, he was always alone. I once saw 2 little pairs of shoes outside his door, but the next morning they were gone. Another time, I heard a woman crying through the wall, but when I knocked to ask if everything was okay, Paul opened the door immediately. Too immediately. Like he had been standing right there waiting. I said, "I thought I heard someone upset." He said, "No, just the TV." There was no TV sound. This is getting a little more fishy. You're really investigating in this. A lot of people would say mind your own business. OP is getting into it here. Through minding their own business. They want to know. Here we go. A week later, the building manager sent an email reminding everyone that unregistered tenants were not allowed to live in the apartments. Paul replied, all by accident, and wrote, "This is becoming harassment." Nobody had named him. That was when another neighbor, Maya, knocked on my door. She asked if I had heard the family too. I said yes. Oh, this is becoming a whole thing now. This is a whole apartment thing that's happening here. Everyone is on to Paul. Okay, let's see. She told me she had seen a woman standing in Paul's window at 2 a.m., but when she looked closer, the woman wasn't moving. Not blinking, not shifting, nothing. Just standing there. That is very creepy. Yes, this is getting creepy now. I was right. The next day, Maya said she saw Paul carry what looked like a mannequin torso into his apartment, wrapped in a blanket. We reported it to the building manager. The manager said she could not enter without notice, but she scheduled a maintenance inspection because Paul had complained about his heater. When maintenance went in, they found something insane. Everyone, put your guesses in. What do you think is the insane thing? I'm thinking maybe it's like, oh, I don't even know. Maybe it's like mannequins that he was like lying about. Maybe he has like mannequins to fake that he has a family. It's like he put someone by the window for that one lady. Because I don't know why he's lying about this. It's just a weird thing to lie about. But maybe okay, let's continue. There was a dining table set for four, two children's backpacks hanging by the door, framed photos of strangers that looked like they came with picture frames, women's clothing in the closet, children's drawings on the fridge. Paul had staged an entire fake family inside his apartment. And in the living room, there were three mannequins. Oh my gosh, how did I know? Oh my gosh, how did I know? I did not read ahead. I did not read ahead. I called this. I called it, and maybe some of you did too. Let me know if you guys called it. I think maybe it was a little obvious. Let's see. One adult woman, two children. The maintenance guy said the mannequins were dressed in normal clothes and positioned like they had been watching TV. Paul claimed he was an artist. He said it was a project about domestic loneliness. But then the manager found out something even worse. On his rental application, Paul had originally been denied because his income was too low. Then he reapplied through a housing assistance program that prioritized families using fake documents with a wife and two children listed. So the fake family was not just creepy, it was fraud. He had invented a wife and kids to get into the apartment. But here's the part I still cannot explain. I know the mannequins do not laugh. I know the mannequins do not run down hallways. I know mannequins do not whisper. But I heard them. Maya heard them too. Paul was evicted 2 weeks later. On the day he moved out, I watched him carry the mannequins into a moving van. He was angry and muttering to himself. Before he left, he looked up at my window and said, "They liked it here." I still think about that sentence all the time. So, our boy Paul here sounds like he wasn't trying to be too creepy, maybe just trying to find a place to live with some assistance. Although the end, he said they liked it here. So, and you heard some, like mannequins, not mannequins, but someone running down the hallway or whispering, and that that's the part that's a little creepy. I don't know where that's coming from, unless like he was doing it himself, like he was acting out the those parts just to convince everyone else that he has a family with him. That's my guess. If you guys have any other guesses, let me know. Put some guesses in the comments. That's my guess with Paul here. I'm guessing he was just a dude looking for a place to live, and possibly went a creepy way about it. Um, so yeah. But let's jump in to our second story here. This one is titled, "My coworker copied my life online, then applied for jobs using my name." Interesting title already. I think everyone can agree on that. I don't know what to expect, so let's just go right into it. Why sit here and brainstorm when we can get right into it? Here we go. I work at a small marketing company, and about a year ago, we hired a new girl named Tessa. At first, I liked her. She was friendly, asked a lot of questions, and said she admired how organized I was. I thought she was just being nice. Then she started copying small things. I got a short haircut. 2 weeks later, she got the same one. I brought a blue lunchbox. She bought the same lunchbox. I wore gold hoops often. She started wearing gold hoops every day. I changed my desk wallpaper to a beach photo. The next day, hers was almost identical. It was weird, but not enough to confront someone over. Then she started copying the way I talked. I say, "That's actually crazy," a lot. Suddenly, she said it constantly. I use little smiley faces in Slack messages. She started doing the same thing. I make very specific coffee orders, and one day she walked in with the exact same order and said twins. It got uncomfortable fast. The real problem started when clients began confusing us. Okay, pause right there on the client's part. Maybe she's doing it so then the clients can confuse you guys and steal your clients. In that case, L coworker. Is that the case though? Maybe not. Maybe she's like obsessed with you and like she like puts you on a on what are you guys know what I'm talking about when you put someone on a you guys know what I'm talking about. She's putting you on that thing. Maybe. She's obsessed with you. That's what I'm getting at. Or she's trying to steal your clients, one or the other. I'm not too sure. But I guess we'll see, won't we? So let's jump right into it. We don't look identical, but we have similar hair color, similar height, and after a while she started dressing like me. One client called her by my name in a meeting, and instead of correcting him, she answered. I laughed awkwardly and said, I'm actually me. Everyone laughed, but Tessa did not. After that, she got colder towards me. She stopped asking questions and started acting like I was copying her. One day, our manager complimented a campaign idea I'd worked on for weeks. Tessa said, oh yeah, we talked about something like that. We had not. Okay, see, I'm getting the vibes this is about work. I think she's trying to steal your work here. I think she's maybe trying to get a promotion, trying to get all the cred for something she probably should not be getting cred for. This is my thought process. Let me know what you guys think. Another time, she forwarded one of my old strategy documents to a client and removed my name from it. I found out because the client replied and accidentally included me. When I confronted her privately, she smiled and said, I think you're being really territorial. Territorial over my own work? Then things got worse. I got an email from a company I had never applied to. It said, thank you for the interest in the social media manager position. We'd love to schedule an interview. Oh, she's trying to get rid of you. Now Tessa is trying to get rid of you. She signed you up for something to get you out of here. That is for sure what's happening here. I thought it was spam. Then I looked closer. The resume attached had my name on it, my job title, my work experience, my LinkedIn URL. But the phone number was not mine. The portfolio link was not mine either. It led to a website full of my projects, but with Tessa's contact information hidden in the footer. She had created a fake version of me to apply for jobs. I felt sick. I would feel sick too. This is weird, but I think she's just trying to get rid of you. I think this is a she hates you for some weird reason. Although you guys were like best friends, I thought you said in the beginning. So I'm not too sure. Let's see. I took screenshots of everything and went straight to HR. HR was shocked. They called Tessa into a meeting the next morning. Tessa denied everything. She said I was framing her because I was jealous that she was becoming more visible at work. She claimed I made the fake portfolio myself to sabotage her. Then HR asked why the phone number on the fake resume matched the emergency contact number she had provided when she was hired. She went silent. Wow, detective work from HR there. What a way to piece that together. That should have been the end of it, but it was not. That afternoon, she posted on LinkedIn. It's heartbreaking when women in the workplace tear each other down instead of making room. People commented supportive things. One coworker even liked it. I wanted to scream. The company launched a formal investigation. They found she had downloaded several of my files, copied my writing samples, and applied to at least 9 jobs using either my name or a weird blended version of our names. When they fired her, she cried and said, I just wanted the same opportunities. See, I knew it was about work. I knew it. She was kind of she's doing it for herself. She's doing it for herself. My manager said, then you should have used your own name. A month later, I got a message from someone at another company asking if I had attended a Zoom interview with them and behaved strangely. I had not. Tessa had taken an interview pretending to be me. Apparently, she kept her camera off and said she was having technical issues. She spoke using my resume, my projects, and my experience. The only reason they questioned it was because they checked LinkedIn afterward and saw that my profile picture did not match the person who eventually turned her camera on for just a second. I had to spend weeks contacting companies, cleaning up my name, updating passwords, and documenting everything. The creepiest part? After she was fired, I found a folder on our shared drive that she had forgotten to delete. It was titled Personal Brand. Inside were photos of my outfits, screenshots of my captions, copies of project notes, and a document titled Becoming Her. Whoa, that's weird and creepy. I agree with that. I still do not know what her end goal was. Was she trying to replace me, become me, get a better job as me? All I know is I will never ignore someone copying small things again. Well, I think the angle there was, I guess, trying to take you over, climb the corporate ladder a little bit, you know? I guess she thought you were getting too much attention from the company, so she was trying to one up you. Yeah, the copying is weird, and the becoming her folder is even weirder. So, yeah, next time don't let that slide. I'm surprised HR didn't fire her right away after figuring out things. They let it continue on a little more. But maybe that's just me. Yeah. Anyways, let's step into our third and last story here. This one is called I found out my dad was hiding someone in our attic for 3 months. Okay, automatically. Whoa. Hiding someone in your attic for 3 months. I have one main question. Why did it take 3 months to notice a whole person in your attic? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. You must not go in your attic often, I guess. Do people go in their attic? I don't know. Let's see. This happened when I was 19 and still living at home. My parents had divorced 2 years earlier, and my dad and I lived in an old house that had been in our family for decades. It had a basement, a detached garage, and an attic that nobody really used because the stairs were narrow and the insulation was terrible. Okay, already a question answered. This family does not go up there in their attic. Okay, good to know. Here we go. Around winter, I started noticing weird things. Food went missing faster than usual. Not a lot, just enough to notice. A loaf of bread would be almost full one night and half gone by morning. Leftovers disappeared. Bottled water vanished from the garage. I thought my dad was eating at night. Then I started hearing footsteps above my room. At first, I blamed the house. Old houses make noise. Pipes, wind, squirrels, whatever. But this sounded like a person shifting their weight. Slow steps. Floorboards creaking directly above me. When I asked my dad, he said it was probably raccoons. I said, "In the attic?" He said, "Could be." I told him we should call someone. He said he would handle it. He did not handle it. A week later, I woke up at 2 a.m. because I heard coughing. Not through the walls, not outside. Above me, a human cough. The next morning, I told my dad and his reaction was strange. He didn't look surprised, he looked annoyed. He said, "You need to stop scaring yourself." That made me more scared. I'm surprised at this point you didn't go and check yourself. Although I guess they say like the horror movie things, like in the horror movie when someone hears a noise, they go to the noise and then like they end up dying. They're so dumb. I guess in that case you're trying to avoid that, but you wouldn't be like a little curious, like what's going on up there, you know, and go check it out at least. I don't know. Maybe just me. Maybe I wouldn't even do that. I don't know. I started paying attention. I noticed the attic color in the hallway. Forgive me for my reading. I noticed the attic door in the hallway was sometimes slightly open. I noticed my dad buying extra groceries, but pretending he was not. I noticed the upstairs bathroom smelled like cigarette smoke, even though neither of us smoked. Then one night, my dad got a call and walked outside to answer it. He left his phone on speaker for 1 second before closing the door. I heard a woman's voice say, "I can't stay up there forever." Whoa, there it is. Bomb dropped. We know someone's up there, officially. Well, I mean, we knew, I guess, already, because from the title. But you know now, OP. So here we go. My stomach dropped. When he came back inside, I asked who that was. He said, "Work." My dad worked in accounting. Nobody from accounting says, "I can't stay up there forever." The next day, while he was out, I pulled down the attic stairs. Oh, here we go. You're going upstairs. This is what I recommended, but also kind of dumb. Now that you're doing it, I feel like it's kind of dumb, but let's see. I know that was probably stupid, but at that point, I felt like I was losing my mind. I get it. See, probably dumb, probably stupid, but I get it. I might have done the same thing. The attic smelled like cigarettes, laundry detergent, and old wood. At the far end, behind some storage boxes, there was a little setup. A sleeping bag, a phone charger, a plastic bin of clothes, granola bar wrappers, a small lamp, a stack of paperbacks. Someone was living there. I took pictures and got out as fast as I could. When my dad came home, I confronted him. He went pale. Then he told me the truth. The woman in the attic was named Laura. She was not his girlfriend exactly. She was someone he had dated briefly after the divorce. According to him, she had fallen on hard times and needed a place to stay for a few nights. A few nights turned into 3 months. I asked why she was in the attic instead of the guest room. He said, I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. I said, so you hid a person above my bedroom? He said he was trying to help. Then Laura came downstairs. I never seen her before in my life, but she acted like she knew me. She said, I'm sorry, your dad said you wouldn't understand. I said, understand what? That there's a stranger living in my attic? Let me pause and say that I do not think the better idea was to hide someone in the attic. I think surely it was the guest bedroom. Like, this was horrible decision making from your dad to hide Laura in the attic. Let's continue though. She got offended and said she was not a stranger to my dad. Then she started crying and saying she had nowhere to go. I did feel bad for her, but I also felt violated. She had been moving around our house while I slept, using our bathroom, eating our food, listening to me talk on the phone, existing above me for months without my knowledge. I told my dad she had to leave. He said I was being heartless. That turned into the worst argument we ever had. I told him he made me feel unsafe in my own house. He told me I was spoiled and lacked compassion. Laura stood there crying like I was kicking her out personally. Well, I think you are kicking her out personally, because I think if it was up to the dad would probably have her in the guest bedroom. But I think, OP here, I think that you would have kept Laura in the guest bedroom had he asked normally. But I think he took a weird turn to it, and he lied about it. So I think you're kind of fed up with it, which I understand. Then I asked one question. Does mom know? My dad got quiet. That was when I realized this was not just about helping someone. My mom still partly owned the house. Their divorce agreement had not fully settled the property yet. My dad had been letting someone secretly live in a house that legally still partly belonged to my mother. I called my mom. My dad begged me not to. When my mom found out, she lost it. Not because my dad had dated someone, but because he had secretly moved a person into a shared property and hidden it from everyone. Laura left that night. My dad drove her somewhere, I do not know where. For weeks, my dad barely spoke to me. He said I betrayed him. I said he betrayed basic reality. Then things got even weirder. My mom's lawyer discovered that Laura had been receiving mail at our address under a different last name. My dad claimed he did not know. I do not believe him. A month later, a man came to the house looking for Laura. He said he was her husband. Her husband? Whoa. Her husband? What's going on here? What is going on with Laura? Apparently, Laura had told him she was staying with a female friend. My dad did not know she was married, or at least he said he did not. The man was furious, but not at me. He said Laura had done this before. She would move in with people, tell them a tragic story, let them save her, and then disappear when things got complicated. My dad had been manipulated, yes, but he had also lied to me every single day for 3 months. I moved out 6 weeks later. My relationship with my dad is better now, but I still cannot fully forget it. Sometimes when I sleep in old houses, I hear a creak above me and immediately feel 19 again, staring at the attic door. The worst part is not that someone was living in the attic. The worst part is that my dad knew I was scared and let me think I was imagining it. I mean, this is quite the story here that you have laid on us. Pretty weird from the dad to lie about that. And I guess he got lied to. I guess Laura went up to him and was like, hey, I'm in need of this and that, and I've fallen on hard times. I guess your dad was trying to be a nice dude and help her out. Unless they were dating, although I was told it wasn't a girlfriend-boyfriend thing. So maybe he's just trying to strictly help her out. But then Laura also has a husband. And I don't know, there's so much going on here. I have so many questions. The husband didn't know where she was for 3 months. And then all of a sudden, he knew that she was there? How did he find out that she was there after she left? I don't know. I have so many questions and not enough answers from this story. Yeah. So I understand how the relationship with your dad got a little strained, but I'm glad it's doing better now. Good for you, OP. And yeah, maybe never get a house with an attic if you're scared of that from now on, so I wouldn't blame you. Anyway, thank you guys for joining in the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any stories yourself you'd like me to read out, put them in the comments below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for the channel. Lets me know that you're enjoying these videos. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time.